it is said that the king bows down before the Buddhas of the past, the future, and the present, and that he takes refuge in Buddha Sakyamuni. Thus we know that, in the present, there are Buddhas other than Sakyamuni. If the other Buddhas did not exist, why would the king first bow down to the Buddhas of the 3 times, then afterwards take refuge specially in Sakyamuni? This king had not yet renounced all desire, but he was at the side of Sakyamuni and, as a result of the affection and respect he had for him, he took refuge in him. As for the other Buddhas, he bowed down before them. 4. Place of appearance of the Buddhas. The disciples of Katyayaniputra. The Buddha said, 2 Buddhas do not appear simultaneously in the same world, just as 2 cakravartin kings do not appear simultaneously in the same world. Therefore it is wrong that presently there are other Buddhas than Sakyamuni. The Mahayanists. 1. No doubt the Buddha said that. But you misunderstand the meaning of his words. The Buddha means that 2 Buddhas do not appear simultaneously in the same trisahasramahasahasralokadhatu. He does not say that in the universes of the 10 directions there are not actually several Buddhas. Thus, 2 cakravartin kings do not appear simultaneously in the same caturdvipika, for these very powerful beings have no rival in their domain. Consequently, in one caturdvipaka there is one single cakravartin only. In the same way, 2 Buddhas do not appear simultaneously in one single trisahasramahasahasralokadhatu. Here the Sutra puts the Buddhas and the cakravartin kings on the same level. If you believe that there are other cakravartins in the other caturdvipakas, why do you not believe that there are other Buddhas in the other trisahasramahasahasralokadhatus? 2. Furthermore, one single Buddha cannot save all beings. If one single Buddha could save all beings, there would be no need for other Buddhas and only one single Buddha would appear. But the qualities of the Buddhas, who save beings to be converted, perish as soon as they arise, like the flame that is extinguished when the candle is used up. Indeed, conditioned dharmas are transitory and empty of self-nature. Thus, in the present, there must be yet other Buddhas. 3. Finally, beings are numberless and suffering is immense. This is why there must be magnanimous bodhisattvas and numberless Buddhas who appear in the world to save beings. The disciples of Katyayaniputra. It is said in the Sutra that the Buddha appears from age to age after a number of years as immense as the flower of the Njutian Po Lo, Udambara tree, which appears once at regular times. If the 10 directions were full of Buddhas, the Buddha would appear easily, he could easily be found, and we would not say that it is difficult to meet him. The Mahayanists. No. It is in one single Mahasahasralokadhatu that the Buddha usually appears after an immense number of years. It is not a question of the 10 directions. Because sinners do not know how to honor him and do not seek the path, we say that the Buddha appears from age to age after an immense number of years. Moreover, as punishment for their sins, these beings fall into the evil destinies where, for innumerable kalpas, they do not even hear the name of Buddha pronounced and still less see one. Due to these people, the appearance of the Buddha is said to be rare. The disciples of Katyayaniputra. If there really are numerous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions, why do they not come to save all beings from sin and suffering? The Mahayanists. These beings have accumulated faults and very serious taints for innumerable asamkhayakalpas. Although they have accrued all sorts of other merits, they do not possess the qualities required to see a Buddha. Thus they do not see any. Some stanzas say, when the reward for merits is far off, when sins are not erased, for that time, one cannot see the Badantat, the man endowed with power. Among the Arya Badanta their intentions are unchangeable. Out of loving kindness and compassion for all men, they want to save them at all times. But it is necessary that the merits of beings be ripe, that their wisdom and their faculties be keen, that they thus fulfill the conditions of salvation, in order they may then attain deliverance. In the same way that the great Naga king makes the rain fall in accordance with wishes, so it is in accordance with his former actions, sins, or merits that each man is recompensed. The disciples of Katyayaniputra. According to you, the Buddha is able to save men full of merits and endowed with wisdom but does not save men deprived of merits and wisdom. If that is so, men full of merits and endowed with wisdom do not derive their salvation from the Buddha. The Mahayanists. These merits and this wisdom do indeed derive their origin from the Buddha. If the Buddha did not appear in the world, the Bodhisattvas would teach as path the 10 good causes, the 4 limitless ones and the various causes and conditions that assure the retribution of sins and merits in the course of rebirths. If there were no Bodhisattva, this is the admonition found in all kinds of sutras. The person who practices this doctrine carries out meritorious actions. Furthermore, whatever the merits and the wisdom of men, if the Buddha did not appear in the world, men would receive their reward in this world but they would not be able to find the path. On the other hand, if the Buddha appears in this world, men find the path and this is a great benefit. Thus, although a person has eyes, he sees nothing if the sun does not rise. Light is necessary so that he can see something. However, he cannot say, "I have eyes. Of what use are they to me?" The Buddha has said, 2 causes, 2 conditions give rise to right vision. 1. Hearing the Dharma from another's mouth. 2. Reflecting properly oneself. Thanks to these merits, a man can be assured of a wholesome mind, sharp faculties, and wisdom and thus reflect correctly. This is why we know that men derive their salvation from the Buddha. These are the various and numerous errors which we, Mahayanists, discover among the disciples of Katyayaniputra, but as we wish to give the teaching of the Prajnaparamita, we cannot expand further on secondary subjects. End chapter 8.